Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? It's Justin with Tactical Traders, and I'm here to do our daily recap for Tuesday, the 17th. We are here. We had a great session this morning in Tactical Traders live session. We took 3 trades, ended up winning 2 of them. We had 1 loss. Super green day to start the week, and let's get into it. What do we trade this day? So on NQ was our first trade. Again, I want to look at starting with the daily. Had this huge area of resistance, this zone that we've been watching with, right? It looks like we're starting to reject this. Actually, right now, we can see we came up to this zone and rejected off of it. Didn't take a trade with this. The market is still live right now, but we are done trading just because we're up so good on the day. So let's look at our first trade, and I'll show you guys what we did. So we ended up taking our first trade on NQ pre-market. I let the team know we were in a live session, and I wanted to let them know that we were watching for an NQ trade on pre-market. And so what I was watching for is we had this 5-minute fair value gap on the 5-minute, and I wanted to see a strong push to the upside, right? If we look at our 30-minute, I saw that we were in this flag here, and we were holding this 30-minute zone pretty well, right? We're holding here, bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. We're curling to the upside, so I was expecting a push to the upside. So I wanted to see if we could find an area of confluence that we could get some longs in. So I went down to my 5-minute chart, and I saw that we had this little downtrend forming here, and I wanted to see if we could pick up an entry somewhere. So on our 5-minute chart, I saw this fair value gap right here, and I saw that we broke above, and I was looking for a retracement down to this past fair value gap. And what I keep telling my traders, guys, is watch these fair value gaps. Past fair value gaps will actually act as support or resistance depending on which way they break. So pre-market, I ended up picking up 3 contracts of NQ off of this fair value gap, this past fair value gap. We ended up bottom ticking this. Such a great entry. The team picked it up as well. We ended up breaking out of this downtrend. I scaled my first contract with the break of structure right here. I ended up scaling my first contract right here once we broke above. We had a little bit of retracement. Saw this big candle right here. I ended up scaling my second contract right here, and I ended up scaling my third contract once we hit my price target, which was this 11,600 point of resistance that I was watching for. Very key level. Excuse me. And that was our first trade. Great trade for the morning. I set my stop loss at the bottom of this wick right here. Great risk to reward on this trade. It played out beautifully. We had one of the best entries that we've seen today. And it was overall just a beautiful trade for us to take. So let's go over to our second trade that we took on ES. And this one was actually a loss that we took on ES. So our second trade was a loss. I'll show you what I was watching for. Looking back, this probably wasn't the best trade that we would have took. But I did want to give it a stab. Again, this was a 5-minute zone that we were playing off of. So I saw this 5-minute demand zone. Not the best zone to be playing possibly longs off of. But I was watching for a bounce off of this zone right here. So I saw this here, and I saw his bounce, and I ended up entering right here once I saw this candle hold. So we ended up pushing up. We were up a decent amount on this trade, but my risk to reward was a little bit skewed, right? I wanted to see us a break of this level here, and I wanted to see us push to the upside. A lot of volume coming in, and sellers ended up just pushing that right back down to the downside. So my stop loss was the bottom of this wick right here, and we ended up getting stopped out on this trade once we rejected this level. We were up. I was up around $500 at this point. Decided not to take it. Probably a better idea to have at least scaled off one of my contracts right here because it is an area of resistance. Looking back at the trade, that is something I definitely want to learn from, is coming back into new areas of resistance or past areas. It's always good to scale off contracts at that point because you don't know how the market is going to react. So we ended up rejecting this, and we came down and stopped out of this trade. So my next trade actually came pretty soon after. Let's clear these off the chart. And my next trade was this fair value gap that we were watching on the 5-minute. So ES, I wanted to see a potential area to long, right? We're in a super strong uptrend currently in this market. A lot of buyers coming in pre-market, a lot of buyers coming in at open, and I could see us pushing potentially higher. So I wanted to see an area for potential longs. On our 5-minute, we have this fair value gap that we've been watching, and I wanted to see us come down and potentially bounce off this level. So our first entry is I called out on our live trading in our tactical traders Discord. I entered in my first contract right here. Once we entered, I entered in 1/3 of my size, right? Because going into zones, right, I want to wait for confirmation to add more onto my position. So I entered in one of my contracts on this fair value gap once we first touched this. Once I saw this big candle come in, I'm watching Bookmap, I'm watching those buyers step in, and I decide to add my full position. So I add my full position around here halfway through the candle on the way to the upside. So we're in this trade long and we get a good push to the upside. My first scale out that I do scale is right here on this area of resistance. So I see that we come up here and I ended up scaling right here on this push to the wick. I scaled out one of my contracts right there. And then once I learned from my first trade, right, the second trade that we got stopped out, what I learned from this is that I needed to start taking off some of my trades at areas of resistance. So that's exactly what I did. I took off the rest of my contracts right when we broke above this level here. So this candle came up. I decided to close my position because I don't know how we're going to react at this level. I wanted to see a break above. I don't know if we're going to hold or we're going to close. So I decided to take off my full position right there for a beautiful gain. Again, I set my stop loss at the bottom of this wick right here. Risk super tight. Beautiful play. This is an amazing morning here at Tactical Traders. If you guys are interested in joining live sessions, we are a free Discord here. We live trade every morning, Monday through Friday. We're just here to teach some free educational content. I hope you guys are enjoying the live sessions for the people that are coming into them. I'm going to start doing these live trading recaps every day and posting them. I hope you guys learned something from this, and we had a great day here at Tactical Traders. So stay learning, stay educational, keep practicing your trades, guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, guys.